Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to deal with another topic of Indian Contract Act 1872. So the another topic here is capacity of the parties. So today we are going to deal with this topic, capacity of the parties. So first of all, before going into the topic, we'll make some introduction. So please listen it. And the introduction here is what is the capacity of the parties. So whenever any two persons entering into an agreement and to make the agreement enforceable by the law and to become a contract, there should be capacity of the parties. That means capacity of the parties here means the parties must be competent to enter into the contract. That means, okay, we'll go into the topic. Capacity means competence or the ability of the parties to enter into a valid contract. That means any contract entered by the parties should be enforceable by the law. To become enforceable by the law, the parties whoever entered into that contract must have the capacity to enter into that contract. So how they will get that capacity, that how they will get the capacity? If there is no capacity, then that agreement will entered by the agreement or the valid contract created by the parties will become unenforceable or void in front of the law. So what are the provisions related to the capacity of the contract? Provisions of the law relating to the capacity of the contract means reasons for the incapacity, or which are the what are the reasons of making the parties incapable. That reasons we are going to study in this topic. Okay, here capacity means capability or the competency of the parties to enter into contract, and competency of the parties is an essential element of the valid contract. Without this ability to enter into contract between the parties, then the contract will not become a valid, hence it is an essential element of the contract. Okay, and section 10, agreement becomes a contract if it is entered between the parties who are competent to the contract. See, section 10 defines here agreement whatever the agreement created between the parties or entered between the parties will become enforceable only if it is entered by the parties who are capable of entering into contract. Suppose if the parties are not capable of entering into an agreement, even though they entered into an agreement, then that agreement will not become a valid contract, and then that agreement will not be enforceable by the law. So what are the reasons they are becoming incapable, that we are going to study now. And next one is section 11, the contract deals with the section 11 defines or deals with the competency of the parties. Okay, so before going into reasons for incapacity, what are the reasons for capacity means how the parties can become capable. That reasons are reasons for parties to become capable. First one, the person must be of whoever completed the major. That means he has to greater than 18 years or he must complete the 18 years, then only he can enter into the contract. Then only the law takes this person as a major into consideration as a major, and then it approves the agreement whichever entered into by this person. Okay, so these are the whatever reasons I'm stating here or saying here are the capacity, creating the capacity of the parties. So first one, to enter into an agreement the person must be major. Whoever crossed the 18 years, then he will called as the major. Okay, to enter into an valid agreement and to create the valid contract, he must complete the age of minority, or he must become a major. Okay, next one is unsound mind, means he should not have this unsound mind. Unsound mind means sound mind means capability of understanding everything. Okay, unsound means incapability of understanding the things surrounding. So this should not be there, not there. So this should not be there. If this is present, then he will become incapable. So this should not be there to become capable to enter into an agreement. And next one is disqualified by law, means he should not be disqualified by law, means the law should not say that this person cannot enter into any contract. Like that, the law should not say to that person. If the law stated like that, he cannot enter into contract. Hence it should not be disqualified by law. If these three are present, then the person will become capable to enter into an agreement. Okay, if these are not present, then he will become the incapable. If these are not become, he will become the incapable. So for that reasons for that incapability we are going to study now. First reason is incapability created out of the status. Means if any incapability arising for a person out of the status, then under that we are going to study the some statements. Okay, if the person's incapability creating by his status, then that also will become the reason for the incapability. Okay, persons disqualified by the law. Okay, whenever under status we are studying now, if he is becoming incapable under status, then what are those, how his status means, if he is a alien enemy means, so under status we will study all this. Okay, so what is a first one, alien enemy. First of all, what is the meaning of alien? Alien means a person who is not belonging to our land. That means a foreigner can become a alien to us. A stranger can be alien, the unknown person can be alien. So alien enemies. So his status, what is his status now? Unknown person. A stranger is a status to him. So by this status he is becoming the incapable to enter into an agreement. What is this his incapability? Now we are going to study. So alien enemy during the war, whenever this foreign person enters into an agreement with the person of our country. For example, if two persons belonging to two different countries enter into an agreement, then that agreement you can be enforceable. When that agreement can be enforceable, suppose if they are entering into an agreement, suppose A and B are entering into an agreement. So if these two persons are belongs to two different countries, so two different countries, but if these persons entered into an agreement, and whenever they entered into an agreement, then there is a peaceful conditions between the countries. After entering into an agreement, if these both the countries, if there is any war between these both the countries, so if the war breaks between these two countries, suppose if these 2% like India, we belongs to India, and from another country, suppose US. So if these two countries, if there is any war between these countries, then whatever the agreement entered between these parties will not be enforceable, because there is no good conditions between the countries. Hence he will become the alien enemy to us, because there is a war between these two countries. So for Indian person, US person will become the alien enemy, and for the US person, Indian person will become the alien enemy. So there is a no peaceful conditions hence between the countries. Hence he will become the alien enemy to to us. Hence we cannot enter into any agreement with the alien enemy. Okay, so hence by his status he is becoming the disqualified by the law, is disqualifying him. Okay, so the persons disqualified by law, he is a person disqualified by the law, and with the disqualified person we cannot enter into any contract. Okay, so this is one of the status of incapability. And next one is foreign sovereigns and the ambassadors. Means any persons belonging to the other country, like foreign sovereigns means, sovereign here means authority, means any foreign authority person, and and with the ambassadors we cannot enter into an agreement. And even if we enter into an agreement with these persons, with this ambassador or the foreign sovereigns, we cannot file a case against them. Only we have to go and we have to take the prior permission of the central government to file a case against these persons. These persons have the right to contract, but can claim the privilege of not being sued or not. Okay, and next one here is insolvents are the persons who lost their capability to enter into an agreement. For example, insolvent means the person who lost his like properties or everything. Suppose if there is any person, due to his financial financial crisis, he lost his properties and everything, but to whom he has to pay the amount, that persons will approach the court and approach the court. Then this insolvent person says that I have nothing to pay to this person, and I cannot pay anything to this person. Then he can get the, then the court will say that he has become the insolvent. Insolvent means he has become the incapable to pay your debts back. Then he will become the insolvent. Means by the court he is making himself as the insolvent. So whenever he is insolvent, he cannot have the right to enter into an agreement. An insolvent cannot enter into contract, as his property vests with the official receiver of the court. Means whatever the property he has, that property will be held in the hands of the official receivers of the, means who the court appoints some official receivers. So his property, because he is saying that I am unable to pay my debts to my creditors. So if he is approaching like that to court, means the court will give his property to the official receivers. So he is not having any right to enter into any contract with any other person. This disqualification of insolvent, if removed, okay, and after he is discharged, discharged, these insolvency can be removed from those person. After removing such insolvency only, he can enter into any agreement with any person, okay, any another person. Next, convict. With the convict means a person who is under imprisonment, means he did any criminal acts, then the police will take over him to for the prison. He will get some he will be under the prison. Means he won't have any right to enter into any agreement. So convict is a person who is getting punished by the courts or the law, then for any criminal acts done by him, then that person will called as a convicts. Such convicts cannot be enter into an agreement until that imprisonment of him will get expires. Means if he once released from that imprisonment, he can enter into an agreement. So if he is under such a imprisonment, then he cannot enter. If free from the expiry sentence, whatever the sentence given by the court or whatever the punishment given by the court, if such punishment expires, then he comes out from the imprisonment, then only he can enter into any contract with any other person of the country, okay. Hence the convict, by his status, what is his status? He is convict. So the court declared him as a convict, means declared by the law, he is disqualified by the law as a convict. So his status is convict. Hence he cannot enter into any agreement with any person, and he cannot make a valid contract, okay. He is becoming incapable here. Next one is presidents, ministers and heads of the government. For example, any minister of the country go to another country, and if he want to make the like if he want to make any agreement or enter into an agreement with the another person of the another country using his power, he cannot do such things, because he is going, for example, if any minister going to the another country for the official matters of the country, whenever whenever he goes to another country for the official matters of the country, then he cannot enter into any personal contracts or personal agreements of him, okay. That means he cannot say that after going as a minister to the another country, he cannot enter into as a person he cannot enter into any contracts with the another person of the another country, okay, by using his power. If he enters like that, then that agreements will not be enforceable by the law, okay. If he goes personally, he may enter, but if he goes as a minister by using the official power, he cannot enter, okay. And next one is companies incorporations through agents, directors. That means if a company means a artificial person cannot enter into an agreement with the natural person here means human beings. That means a company cannot directly enter into an agreement with the human beings, but instead it can use its directors as the agents of the company. Means the instead of the company, the directors can enter into any agreement with the other persons, but not company cannot enter into directly with the other person, because the company here means official, it is an artificial person, right? Artificial person cannot perform any actions, hence it cannot enter into an agreement, but it can use its directors as agents instead of a company. Okay, so this is another disqualified. So companies are disqualified by the law, but it can enter into through its agents called directors. Okay, and next one is mental deficiency. So this is another category. These are all disqualified by the law, but this disqualification is by the mental deficiency. For example, take here minor is a person who is not completed the age of the 18 years. If he completed the age of the 18 years, then he will become the major and he will become the incapacity. He has a capacity to enter into an agreement, and hence he will become the competence to the agreement, competent to the contract. But if he is a minor means mental deficiency. Why mental deficiency here? He does not have the ability to think broadly, and he can if he enters into an agreement with if any person enters into an agreement with the minor, then then that agreement will not be void ab initio means and whenever the person entered into an agreement with the minor, from that point only it is from that starting point only it is void. Void ab initio means from the starting point. From the starting point only that agreement will become the void, hence it cannot be enforceable by the law. Okay, and next one is unsound mind. As I said before, unsound mind is a person. Unsound mind means the person who does not have the capability to enter into an agreement. Even he enters into an agreement, he cannot have the capability to understand the terms of the contract, because his mind is not in a capacity to understand the terms of the contract. Okay, he cannot make the rational judgment. Rational judgment means he cannot take the clever clever so he cannot. Regarding this, there is a case law called Inder Singh versus Parameshwara Dhari Singh. So here a person a property worth 25,000 was agreed to be sold by a person for 7,000 only. So 25,000 property agreed to sell at only. So by fraudly 25,000 property he is selling for 7,000 only. The person who entered into an agreement to sold the property at the 7,000, he is an idiot. Idiot here means the person who is not in a capability to understand the terms of the contract. By fraudulently he making him to sell 7,000 only. Hence these are the incapability of the person to enter into an agreement. So friends, if you like my video, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.